Hey everybody, welcome to Creative Chaos. I am your host, FTM Outlaw on YouTube, and if you're watching on miniwargaming.com, Hardcore Freak 05. Today we're going to play a little game I like to call
40K on the cheap.
Today, we are going to be making this. I do not have a name for this yet. Some people call it a foxhole. I don't have a name for it yet, but for all intents and purposes, we'll just call it a foxhole. Very simple to make, very cheap to make. Now, the number one thing you are going to need out of all of this to make this thing work is this. Now some of you are saying, well, what is that? What is that blue thing? And where did you get it from? Well, get out of town. It's an ice cream. Now this particular lid comes from a store called Kroger's. If you're in the north, you know what I'm talking about. If you're in the south, sorry guys, you're going to have to find something to its equivalent. So, it's going to be real simple, it's going to be real fun, and hopefully, by the end, you'll have something that looks similar to mine.
Okay, as you can see, what we've done here is I've already torn off the paper backing that covered the lid and glued it to the masonite. I've already cut out some abstract shapes. When it comes to what you're trying to make here, it's like somebody took roofing metal and took what they could when they got it. I always keep one squared sheet because, you know, just to make it look random. You got odd angles here, and what we're going to do is we're going to take our blood red bootstrap leather, and that's going to give us our nice brown rusty effect. And then we are going to take pig iron, which is, I believe, the equivalent of bolt gun metal, and we are going to dry brush that on to give it the metal effect, like the rust hasn't overtaken the metal completely. Okay, what we've done here is we have painted this one with bootstrap leather, and we've painted this one, it's a little bit darker, with the Indian flesh. And just for my own amusement, I've decided to paint over this one with the Indian flesh first and then the bootstrap leather, just to give it a darker, lighter rust effect. As you notice, I did not paint 100% over the red. You still want that red to come out just a little bit. What we're going to do now is we are going to take the pig iron, which again is the equivalent of bolt gun metal, and we are just going to lightly dry brush this on just to make it look like there's a little bit of metal left. Short after that, we are going to take our barricade, that's what we're going to be calling it from now on, and we are going to spray paint it black, and then we're going to paint it up, and then we're going to put these on, and then we're going to start putting our popsicles into play. Okay, what we've done so far is we have taken our pieces of rust and we have glued them in place. I have used super glue to accelerate the process here, and as you can see, it's now starting to turn into a nice bunker slash foxhole. Now when you're making this, remember that this is kind of somebody's last stand or emergency setting. Somebody found some sheet metal and had to throw this together real quick or they'd be stuck out in the open. So when you're putting this thing together, neatness does not count. So what we're going to do next is we're going to take our stones and sand, and we're going to start put a little more detail. Now what I've done here with the popsicle sticks is I have taken a brown marker and gone over it lightly, and then took a paintbrush and some water and watered it down and kind of gave it just a little bit an aged look, because It looks like something that has been here for a while. It's covered in rust. It's ramshackled, very orcish, if anybody was thinking that. So what we're going to do is we're going to cut some pieces here to put up against the side, and then we're going to take our little rocks, and we are going to use that to hold our popsicles in place to make it look like somebody's got this pushed up against the wall with stones holding them in place. So now what you're going to do is you're going to take your stones. I got these at a local store, really cheap. I think they're mostly used for decorations and people's houses. And I'm going to do something a little different than what most people do. A lot of people will paint the stones. They'll go over it in black, and they'll go over it again and dry brush it. And what I have come to the conclusion is that not every world in 40K has stones like on Earth. So if I come across the planet that's primary colors are purple and burgundy, obviously the stones are going to be similar to that color. So if I ever come across somebody who's got terrain that's got burgundy stones and purple stones, I'm not going to jump all over them and say, ooh, your stones aren't painted. So we're just going to let this dry just a little bit so our support beams will stop falling over. We'll come back and we'll put our sand in. And just by chance, if anybody's wondering why all the stop and go and stop and go and stop and go, my camera is actually my phone. And earlier, when I was in the bedroom talking, I had it taped to the wall using that blue tape they use for painting walls and stuff. No joke, I'm dead serious. It was strapped to the wall. And right now, it's strapped to a lamp on. Same thing, blue tape. Like I said, good old-fashioned sand, dirt. Alright, now we're going to let that sit overnight to let as much sand as we can grab a hold of that glue, and the glue and the sand come together and make one beautiful, messy terrain, and we're going to go from there.